So I remember back in summer 2017, this was the summer when I just finished high school. The thing I was most hyped, the thing I was most excited for was going to university. So I just graduated high school, and it was my last summer. I was about to go to university, and university was going to be a completely massive shift, completely massive change in my lifestyle. I would go from high school, where basically, I would talk to the same 100 to 200 people every single day, because there was about 100 people in my grade. So I'd be talking to the same people every single day, same routine, going to school every single day. And I lived in Indonesia as well, so there wasn't too much to do. Go to the malls on the weekends, but there was no new people I was meeting. There was nothing really super exciting I was doing, and university was going to be a completely different shift. There would be tons of activities, tons of opportunities to meet people, do new things. I'd be in a completely new country. I was so hyped, so excited. Every day I was like watching videos about like university lifestyle. I was excited, honestly, to like party, go partying, meet new people. Just have fun with that new university lifestyle. And I was going to be living on campus as well, which was even more crazy. I'd be living next to people my own age. I remember I would see things like, oh, bro, just like, leave your door open and, you can talk to the people nearby that live near you. I was so hyped for this lifestyle. And at the time, all my friends, my high school friends, they were going to university in like the UK and the US. So they had already left. Because I was going to university in Australia, so I was basically alone in my home country in Indonesia, waiting for university to start. So I had a bunch of free time, and I was just like getting hyped for university, looking forward to it. So if I could go back in time and tell that version of me, younger me, some things to expect when going to university, here's what I'd tell them. I'm going to talk about a couple things here. Okay, so the first thing I can tell you, yes, it's going to be scary. Like if you were like me and you're going to a completely new place, you're going to have like a complete reset, right? Like in high school, maybe you had some friends, a small group of friends or whatever, people that you were close to. But in your new university, you're going to know no one. Maybe you're going to know a couple people from your high school, but you're not going to be super close to them. So you're going to be basically starting from zero. And this is completely fine. Everybody in their life at least has a couple times when they completely reset from zero. Like I've moved to a new country twice in my life so far. Twice in my life so far, and it's going to happen again and again and again. So this situation where you're completely starting from new, it's completely normal. It is quite scary when I knew no one and I had to make friends again. It is quite scary, but it's completely normal. And one of the difficulties is you might feel lonely, right? Not exactly lonely because you're in a new place, but when you feel like lonely and you know no one, you're going to cling to like the first few people you met. Like I remember I met like a small group of people in like the first activity I ever went to. And because they were the only people I knew, I was constantly trying to like hang out with them and push interactions with them and push hangouts with them. And they were receptive as well. They wanted to hang out with me as well because we were both in the same situation. We both knew no one. And that's completely fine. Push yourself, hang out with people, meet new people or whatever. But don't expect that the first few people you meet you're gonna be compatible with. You're going to want to cling to those first few people you meet because you're going to have no one. But chances are you're going to have to meet many dozens of people till you find those people that you're actually compatible with. So don't expect to be best friends with the first few people you meet. Just be open to meeting a bunch of new people, meet new people, But you might think like you're lonely when you get there. You might think you're lonely now. But don't think of it as lonely. Think of it as you're just moving to a new place. You're starting from new. Like you might know no one, but how lonely you are in 6 months, in 1 year, is within your control. So don't think about how lonely you are. Think about what you can do to, start meeting people, start making friends. Go to activities, put yourself out there, whatever. That's why university is so great. If I could go back, I wouldn't have studied. If I could go back in time and tell first year me what he should have done better, I wouldn't have told him to study more. I wouldn't have told him to exercise more. I would have told him to just go out and like meet more people, talk to more people. Now again, this depends on your priorities. Like some people don't care about making friends. Some people don't care about meeting people. That's fine. You don't have to. I'm not forcing you to do that. But if you are like me and you're interested in that kind of thing, then yeah, that's a good thing to consider. And the next thing, this is kind of related, but in a couple years, you will look back to younger me. Like I look back to me from first year and I cringe pretty hard. cringe at the things he used to do, the things he used to say, the things he used to, go to, the things he used to, the hobbies he did, the activities he did. I used to cringe pretty hard. And that's actually a good thing. If you look back at a younger you and you cringe, that means that you've learned a lot. That means that you've grown. So think about it. You are going to cringe at the version of you right now in a couple years. So, make mistakes, experiment, do stuff. That's completely fine. You don't know what's going to work until you try it. Go to those clubs, go to those activities that other people might think are cringe. If you're interested in going to like the anime convention, I don't know why I gave that example, then go to it. Go to clubs on your own, go to parties on your own, go to events on your own. Nobody cares. Don't be afraid to go to those events that you think are weird or scary. Put yourself out there. If you want to sit in a completely new row, there's no rules. In our heads, we have all these rules in university, because when we're in high school, we're used to following rules. We're used to following the teachers. Like, we got to put our hand up to go to the toilet, and then a month later, we're getting thrown out into the university world. But the reality is, there's less rules than you think. One thing I notice is that students, when they sit in a certain row in a lecture, they'll continue to sit in that row for the rest of the semester. But if one day you were like, nah, bro, I'm going to sit in this other row, that's completely fine. Sit in a new row in your lecture. Go to a new library to study. That's a weird example. But, go to these activities, go to stuff that you wouldn't normally do, that you think might be cringe. Just try it out. It's experience. It's fun. So yeah, related to that, about how you'll cringe at younger you, also nobody gives a fuck about you. It sounds brutal, but it's true. In high school, it feels like everybody cares about you. Everyone's watching you. Because if you make one mistake in high school, the gossip spreads around. If you trip and drop your milk at lunchtime or something. I'm trying to think of any cringe things I did in high school that everyone talked about. Like something super cringe in high school, it's going to spread around, everyone's going to know about it. But in university, it's not the same. Because, bro, there are tens of thousands of people at your university. No one knows you. Nobody cares about you. It's a completely different shift in the social dynamics. If you go to a lecture and you trip and drop your books, people are going to forget within 10 seconds because nobody cares. Everyone's doing their own thing. Nobody has the energy and the time to care about all these people. If you see something dumb happen at university, people forget about it that quickly. So, yeah, nobody cares. And on that, everybody is equally as confused and lost as you. You think you're unique, that you're completely lost and alone in this new city. Everyone else is completely in the same situation. So nobody cares about you. Everyone's in the same situation as you. And yeah, nobody's watching you, bro. So do whatever you want, to be honest. Yeah, I'm not saying go commit a crime. I'm not saying like do something dumb. But don't be afraid to experiment and do some things that you might think are a bit awkward or something. Okay, just a random tip here actually that I've got written down here. Don't do morning classes. Okay, I'll go into this in a bit, but high schoolers, when you go to high school, you wake up at like 7 a.m., right? So when you go to university, you think, okay, bro, I'm going to do 7 a.m. classes. I'm going to do 8 a.m. classes. This is a massive mistake, and I'll tell you why. A 9 a.m. class in university feels like a 6 a.m. class in high school. I don't know if that makes any sense, but at least for your first semester, try to make classes a bit later. I would say at least 10 a.m. Now, you might think that like, oh, bro, but you're just being lazy. Just wake up early, bro. If you really want to wake up early and get some stuff done, then fair enough. But don't make it classes that you're doing early. Make it your assignments or your homework. So if you want to wake up early and get stuff done, do it. But do your assignments in those early hours. At least for the first semester, experiment having your classes a little bit later. At least 10 a.m. is what I'd say. Another big reason is because a lot of the university life, social life, again, this depends on your priorities. If you don't care about that side of your life, fair enough. But if you want to participate in activities and go out or whatever and do some fun stuff, a lot of that happens at nighttime. So if you have early morning classes, then you're probably going to have to sleep early, right? But related to this, I want to mention something. I remember back in first year, there was this group of students, I think they were doing like medicine or something. They always had early classes because not by choice. They had very few classes they could do, and their classes were like at 9 a.m., 8 a.m. So every time a bunch of us would go out and do some fun stuff at night, this group of people would always be like, nah, bro, we can't go out because we got to wake up early tomorrow. This might seem like a very controversial thing that I'm about to say, but if you're in that situation where the next day you have a very early class, but you're considering going to like this really fun activity, this fun social event, fun party or something, in my opinion, it can be good to sacrifice a night of sleep to go to that event, to go to that party. Now, this might seem crazy because we all know sleep is super important. We know you have to sleep. But if you're just doing this every now and then, you know, once a month or something, twice a month, sacrificing a few hours of sleep to go to like a fun social event, a fun party, in my opinion, that's completely fine, and you should actually do that, and that should be encouraged. Because at that party, you might make some experiences, some memories that you're going to remember for the rest of your life. But if you get one good night of sleep, that's not going to really change your life that much. Now, I'm not saying like go out every single night and get 0 hours of sleep, you know, sleep for 1 minute a day. That's not what I'm saying. But don't be afraid to be sleep deprived every now and then in exchange for a fun experience, in exchange for something that's going to be a memory for the rest of your life. And here's the final point I want to mention here. It kind of relates to all this. It's going to sum it up. It might seem like in this video I'm talking about how like you should go out partying, you should go, you know, drink, you should go, you know, forget about your grades and just party and have fun. That is not what I'm saying at all. What I'm saying, okay, what I'm going to talk about here is partying is fun. Don't get me wrong, partying is fun, but I want to mention two things on partying and going out. So basically, in first and second year when I was in university, I went partying like multiple times a week, at least 2 to 3 times a week. And if I could go back in time, I would tell myself two things. Yeah, if I could go back to that version of me who was partying all the time for like 2 years straight, I would tell him two things. One, don't revolve your life around partying. And two, you're not missing out on anything if you don't go partying. So I'm going to go through those things. But first of all, going out and partying, clubbing, whatever, going to parties, going to social events is a lot of fun. I'm not going to lie to you. Like when you go to your classes and you see the students around you, the friends around you in class, you know, they're kind of reserved. They're not really talking much. They're just like listening to the teacher, writing notes, not talking much. But when you see those same people in a dark nightclub and they're hyped, you know, they're greeting you like, what up, Penrose, how you doing? You know, they're super high energy. They're completely different personality from how you've seen them in class. It's the most like hype, crazy experience ever. You see all these people who are like innocent, nice people, put them into a nightclub environment, give them some drinks, they transform into completely different people. So that party lifestyle is insanely hype, insanely fun. You know, it does get old after a while, but at first it's so exciting. Like when I first went to university and I got into the party lifestyle, I revolved my life around it because I was like, holy shit, this is the best way to live life. I'm going to do this all the time. But I'm going to mention the 2 points here. First point, don't revolve your life around it. You know, if partying is the peak of your life, you're making a mistake. You know, in my opinion, you know, go once or twice a month or whatever, but don't do it multiple times a week. That is way overkill. It's like, it's fun, it's exciting, but like anything, if you do it over and over and over again, it gets boring, it gets repetitive, it, you know, it loses its novelty. So don't do it all the time. There are two reasons why people would want to do it all the time, and I'm going to debunk these two. The first thing is you think it's really good to make friends or like get girls or date or whatever. You think the partying lifestyle is where you do that. I'm going to tell you why that's completely not the case. Partying and going to parties is not the only place to meet girls or make friends. In fact, it's probably the worst place to do it. Because if you're going to make friends, if you're going to meet someone who could be your potential future wife or girlfriend or something, you're probably going to want them to be similar to you, right? And the people who go to those party environments, you know, this might sound disrespectful, but it's completely true. Those people, most of them, kind of revolve their life around partying. Like, you see those people, they're drinking all the time. Their lifestyle, their social life revolves around partying. So you're probably not going to relate, if you watch my videos, you're probably not going to relate to those people much at all. So in fact, the people you want to meet are probably going to be the people in like, you're more likely to meet people you're compatible with in like university clubs or sports clubs or other activities. So in fact, parties are probably the worst place to meet friends and date people. You know, it is easier. Not gonna lie, it is easier. When you've been drinking and those people have been drinking, You dap someone up, you meet someone, you're instant friends. That is true. It is a bit harder to when you're sober to actually make friends or date or whatever. But just because it's harder doesn't mean you should take the easy route, right? When do we ever take the easy route in life? If you want to build muscle, are you going to go take steroids? If you want to good grades in university, are you going to cheat or something? Are you going to hire someone to write your essays for you? Some bad examples here, but just because something is harder doesn't mean you shouldn't do it. The harder route could actually be the better route. So that's what I'm saying. Partying is not the only way to make friends and date or whatever. And the second thing is you might want that hype party lifestyle, right? That fun dancing lifestyle. And you think if you don't go out a bunch right now when you're young, you're going to miss out. You got to take advantage now while you're young, right? Let me tell you why this is completely not the case. Right now, if you went partying and you went out and you danced, where could you go as a broke uni student? You could probably go to like Billboards down the road, which is like a $5 nightclub where your shoes are going to get sticky. You're going to get these watered down $1 drinks. Place is going to smell like vape. Not that great. Compare that to, let's say, for example, in 10 years, you've made a bunch of money. You've built your career. You're probably going to be able to go to way better parties. You're going to go to way more high-scale venues, upscale venues, way better parties. Just because you're young, that's not the only time in your life when you can go to parties and stuff. Imagine like singers and rappers in their 30s and stuff, like, I don't know, The Weeknd, Drake. Those guys are like still partying, they're still going out, but they've got more money. So in fact, you can actually have more hype, more better experiences if you do it later in your life. So you're not missing out on anything by not taking advantage when you're young. So yeah, go out, have fun, go to parties, be sleep deprived every now and then to go to those parties, but don't revolve your life around it, in my opinion. Don't be scared if you're not missing out on anything. If you think, oh bro, I don't even like going to parties, I hate it, don't go. Don't go, it's as simple as that, do not go. So I hope this video helped. See you later.